Hello. Right, I'm doing this video to explain how you can kind of trick Bertline into categorizing a load of books for you. This is in response to a question that was raised on the Bookseller Network, so I thought I'll make a video. It's quite a neat little trick. There's actually two ways you can do it. The first one I'm going to show you is using Edeweiss, and this is basically a list of books that you found on Edeweiss that you just want to categorize in your system. Now, I don't know if you know, but in the Edeweiss system, there is the ability to map your categories to the BIC categories. So we do that in analytics or in Edeweiss, sorry. Under the tools, we have something under here called category mappings. Okay, so you can see I've done all of mine already. Basically, because we're primarily children's, a lot of these are set to non-fiction, and then in the sort of lower levels we can map individually. So all my children's ones, if I go into children's up here, these are sort of the more detailed BIC categories, and you can see I've separated them all out according to my category numbers in Bertline. So, and I'll just show you what my categories look like. So there you go, they're all my category numbers. If you want that report, it's called Category Report in Bertline. So I've mapped them all. Now the one I'm going to show you is actually under fiction. Okay, so again, most of my fiction are all mapped to my fiction category. Ambulance going by. All of these, but then I've got all my graphic novel BIC codes mapped to 12, which is my graphic novels category. So you'll need to do that setup for the Edeweiss side to work. So what you'll see here is the most popular graphic novels in the last 3 months, the top 200, and I could change that selection in here. I could say 12 months, I could say 1 month, I could say 200 titles, or I could say 1,000 titles or 50 titles. But basically, once you've set that, your results will be shown here. And the reason I'm only showing graphic novels is the clever little bit on the side here, BIC subject, graphic novels. So that's a really handy list to have. What I can do then is view my titles in a grid. And they'll come up in a second. There you go. So they're all there in kind of spreadsheet format. We can go to other actions and select all, and that'll put a nice little orange tick next to everything. And then what we can do is other actions, export to file, and we've got a Bertline manual order, and that's the one that holds the category information as well as the title. So that's up there. Click create, and it's going to create this little spreadsheet here. And if we look at that, we can see what we've got in here is all the ISBNs. I'm just going to fix the ISBNs so that they are number format with no decimal places. And the other thing I'm going to do is just put a quantity of 1 against all of these so that it knows. Now, for the publishers that aren't on Edeweiss, you'll see and haven't uploaded their sort of category BIC codes and things, you'll see a blank. So I'm going to just put 12 against all of these because that is my graphic novels section. Okay, and there's actually a couple in there that are showing as fiction, so I'm going to do those as well. In fact, I'm just going to highlight all of these. I know they're all graphic novels. That's where I want them in my shop. So there you go. So they all say 12 in that column E. They all have a number in column B and the ISBN there. And just to reiterate, back on my categories, my graphic novels is 12 there. Okay, so I just need to close this and save it. So yes, I do want to save it. I'm going to put it somewhere where I know I can find it nice and easily, which is in my A folder, and I'm going to save that. Okay, so now we go into Bertline. Make sure that spreadsheet's closed, because if you try and import a spreadsheet while it's open, Bertline won't like it. So I'm in front office. This is probably a feature a lot of you won't use, but when you get into ordering via Edeweiss, the manual ordering is really good, because that's the bit that does all the categorization. So we're going to go into manual ordering. We're going to say it's a stock order. Now, we're not going to transmit this order, but this is kind of the trick to get Bertline to categorize them for you. So I'm going to OK that. Now I'm going to import my file. Okay, and I know that I put it in my A folder, which is in here, and it was that one. I'm just going to check the date and the time, so that's definitely the right one. I'm going to open that, and you can see all the ISBNs have gone in, and they've all been categorized as graphic novels. But up until this point, it's not actually categorized them yet. It just, that's what it's showing as in there. So I'm going to now process this manual order, and that's the bit that goes off and gets all the information from your bibliographic data. So Nielsen or the Bertram's Biblio at the moment. Okay, so you can see them all going in. Just have to wait for that. 200 titles. Be too much longer. Okay, so, oh no, it's still getting that one. It's obviously struggling to find that one. Talk amongst yourselves. There you go, it found it in the end. Lovely. So there you go. It's found all of those titles. Now, again, up until this point, it's not categorized them. Even though it's still in there, it's showing us that category. What we need to do is go to complete manual order, put it into a new order. Really important you now delete this order, even though I suppose if you sent it to Bertram's, nothing would happen anyway. So going into a new order, close that, and now remember to go and delete the order. But they're all in there now. If we go into the details, we will be able to see, if I click on any of these, go into the stock record, it's a graphic novel. Okay, so yeah, remember to delete the order. We don't need that. Unless you want to order the top 200 graphic novels, you might do. That would make a nice shelf. So there we go, we're deleting that. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. All those books are now categorized. The other way of doing it, which was the query on the Facebook group, was from an ISBN list. So let's say, for instance, I've prepared this one. We've got our cookery category. If I go into list details, I can see, and this is because I've set these up, I've got 2 in here that are actually listed as non-fiction, and I don't want that. I want them all to be in cookery, but I don't want to do a stock take. I don't want it to change any stock figures or anything like that. So you've got your list like that. You're happy that these are the books you want in the category that you are going to set them to. So what we need to do is close this list. The name at the moment is cookery. To get this trick to work, we need to find our cookery category number, so 24 in this instance. Okay, so I'm going to rename my description for this category as the category number, so 24. There it is. Now what I'm going to do is go into list details. Okay, it's not changed anything yet, nothing fancy has happened yet, but what we should be able to do is go to print list. Okay, and what I've got is a new report that is called Manual Order Cat Change. Okay, if I highlight that and click OK, And then what I want to do is print this, but print it to file. And it's going to print it to a file called list.csv in the A folder. Okay, it already exists. That's because I've tested this. I'm going to replace it. Okay, lovely. So we can close this. We can close this. We can go to manual order again. We can go to manual stock order, batch entry mode. That's not actually essential. It just changes the way it looks up the books. Okay, import file. Go back to my A folder. There it is. And it was list.csv. Again, check the date and time. Just make sure that you're getting the right one. Open. Okay, and you can see now it's put that category in, so you know that they're okay. If you see a different category in there, you've done something wrong. That should be the category you're trying to set these to. Process, manual order, same as before. Complete manual order. New order. And that now, if we go back to our ISBN list, there it is. List details. Ta-da! They are all now cookery. You haven't changed any stock levels. All you've done is created an order, which we need to remember to go and delete. There you go. I hope you find that useful. The report will be on fridit.com. Now, slight difference in where you put this report. When you download it, you need to save it on your server in Bertram's 401 reports ISBN lists. This is a separate list of reports that can only be used with ISBN lists. So they're all in there. You can see at the top is my manual order cat change report. Yeah, if you have that in place, you'll be able to do this with any ISBN list. Now, hopefully, with the developments that happened yesterday, with Bertline changing hands, then this is the sort of thing that we can get done really easily. It's a really easy thing, like program change, that would need to be done. But for now, you can do it this way. Okay, lovely. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.